Hi, welcome to this new quickie. Before I start, I have a big two disclaimers. The first disclaimer is this is not a Git tutorial, so I assume you have the basics of Git already. And the second disclaimer is we might use a bunch of aliases, so I assume also that you know some basic Git and shell commands. So that being mentioned, let's get started. In this quickie, we'll talk about Git internals, specifically Git objects, how Git stores the data and knows what's the folders that are edited and what actually are the edits and what are the edits that are related together in this version or this patch update. So how does Git store this and retrieve this information internally? It's using objects, and object in Git is simply a file. It's simply a compressed file, nothing more, nothing less. And in Git there's four main objects, four objects in total, but we are interested in 3 of them. So I just want to reorganize this a little bit, so maybe I take this, you come here, and the commit comes here. It sits on top. So we have 3 objects, and the fourth is tag, but it's not important in this quickie. We need to talk about the 3 important objects, which is the commit object, the most famous one because it's exposed in many Git comments, and the tree object and the plop object. And to make it easier, I want you to imagine that tree is always a directory or a path or a folder. So it's a directory or a folder. Okay, so it's a folder. And the plop is an file. So whenever you hear a plop, it's a file. Whenever you hear a tree object, it's a folder or a tree or a path or a location, not an actual file. And the commit is actually the one that wraps those together and tells us where to start and what are the related changes together. Maybe we have many plops, but a plop happens yesterday, another plop happens today. How to know that they are related? This is what we are gonna explain, and how Git knows they are related. So let's say I change a file. I added like a first word, right? And let's actually do this and see what happens. So let's go out to a fresh small repo. So cd test get, and let's see the log. We only have one commit, and if you want to see more details in this commit, let's use the def. Here we have only one file changes. Okay. Here we have we have multiple log comments. As you see, we know that this is a commit. This is the key or the hash for the commit, the author, and when this commit was created, the commit message, what files are affected, and nothing before file means file text is in the root of the repo. Right, pretty easy. So how Git knows all this information? As we said, there's Git objects. They are 4 in total, and they are just files. So we can cd to them. We can go to them. So in Git, there's an objects directory. So if we go to this object directory, we see, as we said, we only had one commit. So only one commit created those 3 objects. Let's go maybe to the 0. Let's list what's inside the 08. There's only 1 object, and if we tree the things inside, say list the 0p instead, maybe we have only 1 object here. List t3, we have only 1 object here. So 1 commit created 3 objects. What are those 3 objects? Those objects are mainly those 3 things. One is the commit, one is the tree, one is a plop. We want to check them. So as I said, an object is a file. We can see what's inside this file using cat command, specifically the get cat command, because it's a compressed file. So we have the first one. We want to know some information about it. First we use the t option, which is the type. To find the full hash, you need this and the rest of this. So we add 08. And actually you don't need the whole hash. 4 is enough, usually, most of the time. So here we have 4. So the type is plop. Okay, plop is a file. So let's see the contents after we know the type. The only edit here is we have first line information, and let's try to see that this is true. So we go to the repo, we open the file, and actually yes, this file has only 1 thing, and this was the initial commit. So the plop has the edits to a file, and get has to know what this plop relates to what commit it related to. There's nothing else in this file. Actually, this is the whole content of the file, which is first line, nothing else. I don't know where does it relate to. It's just an object, and the object directly, as I said, it just sits there and no one knows anything else about it. So I need something to give me the start of the thread, the information to go downstream and file all the information. Let's try this second object. It's here. So if you want to get the data inside it and see the contents of this file, you can first check the type by using 0p a92 is enough. It's a commit type of object. Nice. So let's see its contents then. Here you see the author and the committer, which is me, and the time. It's like epoch time from 1970 in seconds, and the commit message, and 1 extra very important line, which is the 3 objects that is related to this commit, the root tree. And as I said, tree is a folder, a location. So if we go to this, we want to know its type also. So let's get the type. It's a tree. Okay, you already know this. Let's see the content. So the content of the tree says that this tree that is in this commit has just 1 plop, which is the file.txt. And this is how get internally works. So he looks for the commit type of objects. Inside the commits, he goes for the root tree, and from this root tree he knows all the changes, and then does a get def. And then if you run a get log command, for example, you get this all information just from 2 simple objects. Let's go to a kind of real project to demonstrate this more also. So if we see the log here, we have, let's do a little bit, let's clear log. Okay, so we have many commits. It's a little bit complicated. Let's take one of them. Let's take maybe this one that has 2 changes. This one. Okay. So we can do get cat file. So an object is saved by its SHA, by its key. So I can directly see the type of this. It's a comment, but I want to make sure it's a comment. And if I want to see what's its contents, here's the root tree. So I take the root tree here. This is how basically Git knows the changes. Get cat file. We already know its type, so let's skip this. So this tree has many changes. We have a plop, which is a change in .env example. File, we have a tree, which is .github folder. We have a plop, a tree, a subtrees, and the list goes on. Just by knowing the commit, I know the rest of the information I need, and they are not put in hierarchical folders. They are just laid here in the objects file, but they are related using the commit and the tree and the plop objects. So if you want to go to this project get folder, there is an objects. Here is a lot of commits, and they are saved here. They are just files. So next time you use get and see the log, you need to know that most of the information of get are just stored in simple compressed files. The file are either an plop object, tree object, or a commit object. This was the quickie. See you in the next quickies.